Hey, what's going on, guys? I hope you guys are doing well. I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from the Black Financial Channel and the Black Business School. I am in Houston now. I'm actually going to a roast for Willie D, Willie D from the Ghetto Boys, who's become just a great activist, and he's a good guy, and I respect him a lot, and we're friends. But anyway, and I actually hear Dave Chappelle is coming, so don't tell him I told y'all that, but a little birdie just told me that today. I don't know if Willie wants that to be public or not, but I think that's very, very cool. Maybe I'll meet him. If I meet him, I'll take a picture with him, or maybe try to get him on the channel. But anyway, here's something I wanted to share with you guys real quick. Uber stock. A lot of you know a lot about Uber. You probably use Uber. You maybe even work for Uber. Well, Uber has had just one heck of an IPO. It's been a complete mess in terms of the price. I think the IPO price was $45. They're now trading in the 20s. And I'm going to tell you why I think that's actually a good deal. And also I'm going to tell you why recently, as of today, the stock price has been plummeting even further. Well, the stock price has been dropping even further like a brick because it's the end of what they call the lockup period. The lockup period is basically the period of time through which insiders in the company, the people who have extra information that the public doesn't have. Remember, information is power, and that's really what drives stock prices. So it drives a big percentage, probably 90% of what happens when stock price is driven by information. And those who have it first have an advantage. So in order to level the playing field, the Securities and Exchange Commission basically says you have a lockup period where you cannot sell the stock if you're an insider. Well, here's the deal. Insiders want to sell. They want to sell for at least a couple of reasons. It may be just for diversification. Like, look, I put all my money into this company. I don't want most of my portfolio and most of my wealth tied into one asset. I want to spread the money out. Another reason they may want to sell is because they know something you don't know, and they just want to get the hell out while the getting's good, right? They believe that the stock price will fall or it could fall, so they want to bounce before anybody else. That's why insider moves are paid. They pay very, very close attention to what insiders do. Well, here's the point. So the end of this lockup period has led to a dramatic drop in the stock price because a lot of the insiders in Uber are selling out. They're bouncing. Now, they could be selling because which is a legitimate concern. They could be selling because they believe that the stock is overpriced. Their business model was more of what I call a boomerang model, where you take 25 steps backward, hoping that you'll take 30 steps forward some point in the next 10 years. They took a lot of losses. They barreled through money like crazy. They're losing, I think, about $1 billion a quarter in order to establish this market share. Now that they got this market share, it's kind of like having a big field that you bought. You spend all your money buying a bunch of land, and then you say, okay, how do we make money off this land? How do we access and utilize this capital? Do we grow certain crops? Which crops do we grow? Do we rent out some of the space? Like, how do we monetize this massive asset we've acquired? So Uber has acquired massive market share, and they have yet to be able to monetize it in a profitable fashion. Now, that has led, I believe that's could be part of the reason that the insiders are selling, is because there is a possibility that they feel that they sold the world an overpriced asset. Now, if you go the other direction, you can make the argument that the asset isn't overpriced, that there are legitimate reasons for them to sell, and also that this decline that's occurred since the IPO might be a buying opportunity. Why do I say that? Well, because the people who put the $45 price tag on the stock in the beginning, these are experts. These are experts in financial valuation. They came up with a fundamental market value for the stock. I'm hoping it wasn't driven too much, though, by public sentiment, because right now I do believe that investors are paying a little bit more for assets than what they're really worth, because there's a lot of market inflation because money is cheap and everybody wants to invest, and it's kind of this interesting thing. But I personally went ahead and doubled down. I didn't just double down on my Uber investment, I actually tripled down, because I felt that this decline is a buying opportunity for two reasons. One, I saw that they're on the pathway to profitability. I read somewhere that they're not too far away from possibly making a profit, and I believe when they make that first profit, you're going to see a big jump in the price. That's my opinion, it's my theory. The second thing is the market's just very, persistent with Uber. They're like, look, we're tired of your shit. We need you to shape up. We need you to tighten up your processes. We need you to lay some people off. we need you to make some moves. And I believe that pressure is going to create a better, stronger company. One thing I am curious about, but I'm not worried about it. I'm curious but not worried about it. I'll tell you why. I'm curious about how this labor disputes are going to play out. Right now, Uber is under a lot of pressure from labor forces about what they're paying their drivers and whether they're listed as contractors or should they get minimum wage and all that. I believe that's, especially in places like California that are very liberal, I think they're going to take a hit in terms of laws being changed to force them to pay their drivers more. But here's the trump card that they have in their pocket: automation, robots. I believe within 5 to 10 years, most of your Ubers aren't going to be driven by human beings, and that's when the tech geeks start to win, because I don't think they want to deal with people anymore. So that's my theory. That's what I see. I'm just giving you my 2 cents on it. Investing in stocks and all that's my thing. All right, guys. So do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button if you're watching Facebook, YouTube, anywhere else. Share it to your page. Also, make sure you subscribe. TheBlackFinancialChannel.com. I give you daily financial news and commentary from a black perspective, also from a professor's perspective. I'm not just a financial guy. I have a PhD. I've taught financial guys. The other thing too is if you want to join my stock market investing class in the Black Business School, go to theblackstockmarketprogram.com. THE, that's theblackstockmarketprogram.com. All right, guys, I'm out of here. I'll check in during the Willie D thing. I'm sure it's going to be very interesting. I can't wait to see you. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.